Hello there, everybody. My name is Horribilis Canis, and I've decided to upload again. And today, we're going to be doing something similar to the first video I posted on this channel. You know, HECU versus the MD cast. Not really, the murder drones in general. So, what is today's video? Well, I've been playing Arma 3 a lot recently, and I thought, what if I pit these guys against murder drones? And well, I thought it through, and I decided to make this video so you could have that answer too, should you get it. That is, unless you've answered it yourself already and just decide to not make a video and tell your friends in your Discord server and this, that, and the other. Well, I'm here to give an answer to the people who haven't done that. Anyway, for the few that are waiting for Red River, it's delayed, who cares? But you don't really care, do you? No. You're just here to figure out who would win between Arma 3's NATO faction and the IRL NATO, the real-life NATO. In fact, this video is more based on that than the actual Arma 3 NATO, because I'm not going to look into the Arma 3 lore. I'm not going to spend 8 hours sitting here listening to lore videos and reading up on the wiki just to make a 6-minute video on who would win. But anyway, without any further delays, let's do this. So first, we have to go back to the 7th episode in the series of Murder Drones. The flashback when N is standing in a city, and he's got whatever his name is in his hands, and he's bitten his neck, and his head falls off, and this yada yada. Then we see V and J, I think, firing into some civilians before going down to eat at them. They're just running rampant and tearing civilians apart. My first question when I saw this is like, where's the soldiers? Where's the military at? Where are the cops? Why don't we see anything other that has a weapon than a single, and I'm talking one, AH-64 Apache attack helicopter? Might I add, those things are armed with 30mm M230 chain guns that end, for the wings, so to speak, several more armaments. Not only that, I'd argue that the Apache would have torn those disassemblies apart. I'm talking shredded, absolutely gone, but that doesn't happen. And we only see one. That doesn't sit right with you now, does it? Considering there are 5,000 plus Apache attack helicopters as of March 2024, we only see one in what I assume could be either futuristic Sydney, Australia, or in the same timeline, New York City. Anyway, the real point of this video is to find out which would win, not me yapping about this, that, and the other in Murder Drones. Oh, hey, they didn't do this in the series. This would have happened. This, that, and the other. We're just comparing sides here. Anyway, let's see who would win out of all of NATO and however many Murder Drones Sin can spare. Anyway, let's start with the relentless, brave, and sometimes downright savages NATO has to offer, and let's do it logistically. NATO consists of 32 member countries and roughly 3.42 million personnel. Not to mention, us humans may band together during this and throw our differences aside should this happen in real life. But who knows? I'm just talking out of my ass for that. Anyway, what exactly does NATO have to offer in Arma 3? Well, let's start off with the supportive personnel, the artillery, the logistics guys, and whoever falls into that category. First, if a front line is established, NATO may try to zero in artillery on clumps of disassembly drones and whatnot, to kill in mass numbers. Who knows? We may even go back to using cluster munitions. I don't know. And this video is not going to be 6 minutes. Next, NATO may try to take that artillery and zero in on J.C. Jensen factories within range of the artillery, being mortars, self-propelled guns, multi-rocket launcher systems, anything we can muster at that point. And destroy those factories to, limit their reinforcements, because in my mind, the workers are going to turn into zombies, and then those zombies are going to go after the soldiers thinking that, hey, that thing's attacking me, it may have oil in it and not want me to have it, so I'm going to attack it to get the oil out of it to cool me down. Well, bang bang gun go bang. Anyway, they may destroy those factories in clumps of drones to limit their reinforcements and kind of disperse them a little bit, split them up so they can't help each other that well, and they're easy to take on 1-to-1, and by 1-to-1 I mean 1 to 40. 3.42 million personnel. Anyway, it may grow when the years get older, because this is 2024 we're talking about, not whenever that happens. Anyway, let's talk about the guys who are actually going to be in the grinder of all this. The meat grinder, the hellfire. The army and air forces of NATO countries. Now, it may seem that, like, to the humans, that, like, the drones are all powerful, this, that, and the other, but in terms of, like, how weak the drone's armor are, in episode 8, when Sin does the whole let me in thing, all she does is take metal hands and claw at N's chest, which is supposed to be armored. That's how I think. It's supposed to be armored, right? She gets in within a few scratches. So we take the tons of tanks, IFVs, and anti-aircraft vehicles NATO has to dispose of any threats, armored or air, not to mention the tons of aircraft NATO has to fight the drones in the air and strike ones on the ground. Granted, the drones do have missiles, but they don't have flares. The drones don't have flares. So they can't shake off heat-seeking or lock-on missiles. So why does this matter? Well, if the anti-air can cover the ground, or not the ground, but the air from the ground, and the aircraft can also handle the drones in the air, and the aircraft and anti-aircraft work in conjunction with one another, the air is basically ours at that point. So let's say, I don't know, for example, we have an anti-aircraft battery consisting of 2 Cheetah IFVs that exist in Arma 3, and it's guarded by, I don't know, 2 fire teams and 1 armored section. That thing's basically unstoppable, unless the drones just swarm it and whatnot. Anyway, another example. Let's say infantry encounter a drone on the ground, and they have a tank for support, or an IFV. Well, 30mm APDS or 120mm APFSDS shells could rip through a drone, maybe like several of them, like a hot knife through butter. For a 120mm APFSDS, that would be at 1800 meters a second. That's a hot knife, isn't it? Anyway, now it's nighttime. We're beaten, right? Not a chance. With the correct technology and training in the soldiers' hands and in their minds, and with what they have at their disposal, we're just as effective at night as we are in the day. So we've got the air and ground covered. We've cut off their reinforcements. What's our next course of action? We go hunting. No, I don't mean we take Billy Bob Joe, Connor O'Connor, and I don't know, Bubba Ganderson out into the fields and we go hunting deer. No, we take our tank destroyers, ATGM launchers, we spread them out and we send them hunting. We tell them go hunting and bring back as many kills as you can. Anyway, a lot of in my mind, I think tank destroyers aren't as popular as they were before, but they still exist, so we're probably more than likely going to use them. A lot of them are ATGM based, however, so that means all we have to do is guide the missile to the drone that we want gone, as long as we have the jump on it and it's not paying attention, and kablooey, the thing's scrapped now. And to the murder drones community, don't worry about it. You guys have your perks too. Your drones are really friggin' fast. You can outmaneuver, flank, and you're a whole lot more agile than the average soldier. But should the soldiers get a jump on the drone that they want dead, it's basically game over. Anyway, I think I can rest my case there. Albeit, yeah, if humanity won the human solver war, we wouldn't have the series. But with this answer, I think we would have held out for as long as we could have, which probably would have been a full few months, seeing as to what we have at our disposal before we actually lost. Yeah, I think you guys can be okay with this. I think this is a well-suited answer. Well, I'd beg to differ that that's the end of this video, and yeah, I think we're done here. Alright, I think we're all satisfied. We can all go home now. See you later. Make sure to check out my other videos if you feel like it, and yeah, that's officially it. See you, fellas.